Hello there! Welcome to the Clark side. I am Clark. Before we begin, please remember to chill touch that like button and subscribe to join the skeleton crew. With me, I've got Jeff.
Hi.
I've got John.
Oh, right, that's me. Hi.
We've got Jose.
Hello.
And we have Jess.
Hello.
Alrighty. Yeah, last time was a little bit of a, battle.
It was something.
Yeah, you guys are kind of scattered and battered, as it were. Let's see. We'll open.
That's a nice way to put it.
Yeah, we'll open with Gideon and Andros. Okay, so the two of you told me you didn't want to make a new character. You wanted to be revived in some way, shape, or form. So, this is what you get. Andros,
Yes.
you awaken. Your eyes slowly open, and you take in a sudden deep gasp of air. You lean forward, and as you feel the sifting of like little coins scattered about you. You open your eyes into a dimly lit room. In this room, you see oh my gosh, definitely not a phone call. You see you see what looks to be like sort of a symbol that appears like a blackened sun. And there are the colors black and white etched in almost a bar-like pattern all around the room, with gold trim down the middle of each intersection. You look to your left, and you see a woman in similarly styled clothing, drawing her hand back. There's a bit of a sort of like a little bit of steam coming off of her hand, and she says to you, "Welcome back. What do you remember?"
I last recall fighting these abominations and falling to the ground.
Yes. You didn't survive that. And she points to some of the wounds on your body, the acid scars across your trunk, the gashes from spears that were plunged into your remarkably robust body. Do you know where you are now?
I do not.
You are in Winterhaven. But more precisely, you're in my church.
And what church may that be?
It is the Church of the Orzhov.
Oh my.
Yes, we have a little bit of a problem, as you've noticed. These pygmy Viashino, as we've come to call them, have been a plague on business lately. And that's part of the reason we wanted to revive you. You've fought against them firsthand. Did you happen to learn where they're hiding out and what they're doing here beyond just being a nuisance?
I do faintly recall something about their hideout. But everything's fuzzy right now.
As it should be, because you've been brought back by a raised dead spell. You have a -4 penalty to basically everything, except for your actual AC. And anytime, you cast a spell that forces someone to make a saving throw. This penalty is reduced by a point for each long rest you take. So, yeah.
Okay.
Do you think you can track the whereabouts of your companions?
I believe so. I will follow my nose.
Good. Oh, and try not to die this time. I would hate for the Orzhov, my superiors to catch wind of this. If they do, and you do find yourself deceased prior to returning your debt, then it will be out of my hands what happens next.
Understood.
And you see what seems to be some kind of spectral wraith float in behind her. It is a creature in black cloaks with gauntly, emaciated, thin, bony hands. The skin, such as it is, has this like yellow tint to it, and it is just covered in golden chains. And it lays this equipment at your feet. And it kind of has this harsh whispering voice as it descends back into the ground. Your debt is 500 gold pieces.
Okay. Understood.
I will be reviving your other companion momentarily. And she reaches over from into a box and pulls out one exquisite looking diamond. And you see her begin to perform this ritual for about 10 minutes over the body of Gideon. And Gideon, after that time, you two begin to stir with new life. However, first, you find yourself in a bright expanse of clouds and light. You see an angelic figure standing before you, and it feels familiar to you. The figure says to you, "Your quest is not done. However, your return is not without great danger. Ensure that you succeed and fend off these false faithful. Or if not, not even I may be able to reach you where you will be going." And you sort of descend from the clouds, and your angelic figure gets smaller and smaller. And you see a blur, and you wake up in the same room as Andros. You are in a similar bed, a few coins scattered about you, like pieces or like grains of sand. You see the woman who revived you walk off. She reaches for some papers and begins to sign them. These are official. And she hands you some documents and expects you to sign them. They simply state that you are aware of your debt. Should you be unable to repay, we may not charge interest if you do sign. And you may be able to work off the debt as it is. Do either of you decide to sign the paper?
Yeah, I mean, because I owe $500 or 500 gold pieces.
Yeah, Gideon says, yeah, they saved me. I owe them. So you both reach over and start to pay, or pay. You start to sign over the sheet. And it's a black parchment. And the ink is solid, almost a silvery white. And it has kind of a golden afterglow as you sign it. The woman nods and says, I would recommend thanking the young elf maiden that found your bodies and decided to tell people that there were adventurers that died in the street. She's sitting outside the church, though do mind the entrance fee, should you decide to return. And she kind of ushers you out of the church. You walk down a long cathedral. The pews are basically golden. And hanging kind of in the rafters are a few similar creatures to what you saw before floating around. And people are kneeling, offering up tithes and things like that. She takes you to the doors, opens them, and into the warm sunlight you go. Now remember, you both have this -4 penalty, so just bear that in mind. It's a -4 to attack rolls, ability checks, and saving throws. And you sustain this penalty. You basically sustain it until you've reached a certain number of short rests. It reduces by 1 for each, or not short rests. It reduces by 1 for every long rest that you take. Coming back from the dead, even with raised dead, is not an easy task. Yep, attacks, saves, and abilities.
And our health, is it?
Okay, your health is fine. It's back to full. You basically had a long rest, not counting the penalty.
Okay.
You are alive. And you are back in Winterhaven. Oh, and a similar shade glided over and gave you your stuff, Gideon. All your equipment. So, what would you like to do first?
just inquire upon what happened to the rest of the members that I was with.
Alrighty. You see a young elven woman who seems to be setting up some kind of cart. She's got like flowers and mushrooms and things on it. She wasn't there before, but then again, you see a lot of different people setting up carts in the open square this afternoon.
I'll go over to her and thank her for notifying someone about us, and I'll ask her if she needs any assistance.
She looks at you with surprise. Oh my goodness, you're alive. I thought she was just going to bury you. My goodness, what good fortune.
Yes, but at a price.
Oh, most certainly. I would never want to be indebted to the Orzhov.
It is definitely not my first time.
What were you doing out on the road that caused those bandits to just jump out at you?
Well, I just happened to be tagging along with a group of people following this mysterious cow. And I was curious, and as we followed, these creatures jumped out and attacked us.
Oh,
And,
they've been such a problem lately, haven't they?
Yes.
Between them and those goblins, I don't know what this town will do.
That is an excellent concern. Do you happen to have seen anybody else besides us two out there?
Well, while I was picking flowers, and she motions to the flowers that she has been setting up at her cart, I saw when I was picking my flowers, it looked like someone was being taken off into the old keep. I can't say who they were, but I saw it looks like some kind of pygmy Viashino, I think is what they are calling them. I saw some form of Viashino taking off about 3 people deeper into the keep. And that's when I just took what I had and ran off to town. And that's about when I found you on the way in. Was your friend so fortunate to be revived as well?
Yes, my companion was also revived.
A double-edged sword, I am afraid.
Yes, it has its consequences.
She takes from her cart a couple of interesting-looking flowers and tucks them along your ear and says, "On the house."
Oh, much obliged.
Alrighty. And, oh, she also mentions the flowers I usually pick are southeast of town. Just follow the rolling hills, and you'll eventually come to one that is covered with yellow flowers. And if you look in a more southern direction from there, you should be able to see that keep. If you want to see for yourself where those poor folks were taken.
Thank you very much for that. I shall inquire upon their whereabouts.
Speaking of those at the keep,
Free at last. I mean, Okay. Yes, us.
Yes,
I,
Augusto, Mitha, and Gerhardt. You have just been asked what you're in for by a goblin, and you are in a torture chamber. Specifically, you're in a cell block of a torture chamber. Iron bars keep you into your little cubby in the wall, and you have your armor, but your gear has been placed inconspicuously in a corner among some other rubbish and things. Bones, broken chairs and tables and things.
indeed. I don't suppose we could have our map back.
Oh, yes, actually.
Ether, are you here? A little
I am here.
slow. Okay, good. Wanted to make sure I wouldn't be the only one talking. No, Gerhardt does have his mic.
I do.
I forgot Gideon was the one who was broken. Okay.
I hear. I'm unconscious with you.
You are unconscious, and I will likely deal with that right about now as I answer the goblin whose name, despite it being displayed, I don't know. I'll kind of bap you for 1 HP there.
Ooh.
Wake you up.
Gerhardt? You wake up to some loud clanking and the cackling of goblins echoing down the hallway.
I will kick your butt,
Did I
cat.
win? Did I beat him?
Yes, we actually won the grand prize. One free stay in the torture chamber.
That doesn't sound like a fun prize.
No, it's really not. We should look into getting a refund. Or an exchange. Oh, hold on. Actually, one of my personality traits is I don't appreciate metaphor or sarcasm. So, which is gonna be really hard. It's like, we're in a torture chamber. Get up. And probably
My
the
everything
same
hurts.
thing you're in for, goblin. Run afoul of the tiny lizard things.
Oh, I was their chieftain, says the little goblin next to you. But they didn't appreciate what I was telling them, so, and I am.
Remind me to kill you later.
Sure. So, what's your specialty in murder? Quick and painless, right?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, ow, Splug will definitely remember.
Good.
And as you're kind of conversing back and forth, you hear the footsteps of a goblin as he comes down and says, "Oh, shut up, Splug. You're in there because you tricked everybody out of their rations of ale. And now," and he takes out his mug and he kind of rakes it across the bars. "We've got all that you stole, and we're drinking it now. How do you feel, Splug?" And the goblin kind of downs the cup and walks towards the rest of you. And he just kind of looks you over. "So, what are you doing in this neck of the woods?"
I look him straight in the eye and say, official Azorius business.
"Oh, official Azorius business. Well, I'll let our torture master know. He is not fond of the Azorius."
Given his line of work, I'm not surprised. Give him my regards.
He walks back off down the distance, and you can hear the beginnings of goblin revelry as you hear drinks slamming down on tables, and you can hear just general loud obnoxiousness going on. And they don't seem...
Carousing.
Yeah, carousing. You don't yet seem to have anybody coming to get you, fortunately, for now. So, what do you want to do?
I do the bare minimum of clearing stuff around and taking stock of, what is in the cell. Do not break my short rest.
In your cell is basically just you, Mitha, and Gerhardt.
I imagine so.
It's not comfortable, but you can maybe manage a short rest.
Good. Well, that's what I'm doing for the next hour or so.
All right. So is that what you're all going to do?
Yep, definitely.
All right. So you try to get a little bit of rest as you lay about. You do indeed get an hour. The hour passes, and they have not yet come for you. So roll your hit dice, and remember to have the click the 3D dice to be on if you clicked it off prior to our last game, or after our last game.
I believe those settings saved.
Good. All right. So Mitha and Gerhardt, you got 7 hit points healed.
I can click the
Come on,
roll.
Augusto. Give us that 7 and we'll get the jackpot.
Yeah, come on.
Ruined
Nice.
it.
Nice.
Hey, I think you're doing pretty good with 9 hit points.
This is, bump me up to 10. Alright, well, what's everybody missing? I have 4 I can give back. Well, I suppose I wouldn't really know that, but can anybody be topped off?
I only need 2 more.
Yeah, on a scale of 1 to 10, I'm an 8.
Oh, look at that. That's pretty even. I have 3 more I can take, and I've kind of value me a little more. And kind of tank, so kind of need it. I will give myself 2, and then I'll give each of you 1.
Okay.
Okay.
I'm at 12 HP.
All right. As you're sitting in there, the goblins, in their revelry, seem to be getting kind of red in the face, and their speech is starting to slur. And a couple of them run down the hall in just some manner of drunken just stupor.
Cool.
You see one rake against your cage and then run back up.
Did that one look like he happened to have a key on him?
Everybody everyone who cares to look, roll perception.
Oof.
Mitha, you notice that he does not have a key on him. Gerhardt, you can confirm it. You got a perfect look at his waist belt. He gave you, looked at the exact right moment. He basically did in his little turnaround to lead back down the hall. You see that he does not have any keys on him. You couldn't hear anything jingling in his pocket that sounded specifically like keys, though you think he might have some money on him.
No.
Can we hear any particular one that might have keys jingling on him?
Well, we can see Splug, right? I imagine it'll be kind of obscured. Quite obscured. We can see
Splug, you
straight
can
through
only
it.
actually hear Splug.
Ah,
Yeah,
I was wondering.
you don't hear any jingling from the goblins who are running around. But with a 20, Gerhardt, you hear the grumbling of a deeper set voice. And you hear like he's stoking like he's stoking some flames or something. You can hear the jamming around of metal on metal and some the crackling of embers. And you think you might hear some jingling mixed in there somewhere, but not as far as you can tell from the goblins.
I guess he would have the keys, wouldn't he? Alright, I don't have... Oh, well, I do have that. My only issue is... Well, I am wearing my armor, aren't I? They never took it off.
Yes, you have your armor.
Can we see how the cage opens?
It opens kind of like it opens outward.
Is it like one big door, or is there like a smaller?
It's the door is basically where Gerhardt is, and it swings outward on some hinges.
Shame we don't have any thieves tools. I can try to pick the lock.
I know. I was thinking, if it was one big door, we could rush whoever it is that comes to get us. Perhaps.
That was one plan I came up with. Another, the one taunting goblin before, mentioned that I think I saw he was a hobgoblin. I don't remember if you were awake then, Mitha. But when we were let in, the lead torturer, at least the biggest one in there, was a hobgoblin. And according to the goblin, he's not very fond of my guild. We could taunt him into showing up. I could force him. I don't think I could hold him to the bars very easily.
No, but I could try to be stealthy or have sleight of hand and see if I can grab keys or something off him if he has them.
If I can distract him enough, get him close to the bars.
I can give you a hand with that too. I'm trained sleight of hand as well.
Yeah, that would work.
Selesnian Conclave members just natural pickpockets? Oh, what?
I don't know
We
about
believe
her. I
in
was
leveling
raised
the playing field.
I don't think I heard any of that, but okay.
I said we believe in leveling the playing field so everyone has an equal chance.
But that's breaking the law, usually.
But is us not being in here, or isn't us being in here breaking the law as well?
Technically, I'm just stating that the usual purpose of such training breaks the law. It is, however, quite handy in this situation. So I will overlook it for the moment. So, is that the plan then? I attempt to taunt it over here, get it angry, and get it close, and you attempt to steal the keys. Whether that will cool tempers, or whether that will simply get me through the door and hopefully in its face. I suppose either way, mission will be accomplished.
I like it. Let's do it.
Tools, since I don't think any of you were awake at the time, where were they? Like over here? Over here? It can't be over there, so it's gotta be over here.
No, they were dropped off right over here. The refuse pile is like right across from your cage.
Ah, okay. So we get him over there. I could attempt to shove him to the ground, I suppose. We all go for our weapons, we clean house. Or I keep him distracted and you guys go for your weapons, and then we clean house.
An excellent plan.
For again?
Do what?
Can you point out where the weapons are again?
Right here. Right here in the shadowed corner where they're not really paying any attention to it.
Yeah, there's a lot of other junk there and some refuse, and it smells bad, so you think there might be like a chamber pot or something over there too?
I should probably point out those weapons are only there because most of the... Was the name Kobold ever thrown around, or am I still unknowing about that?
To you, it is a Viashino of some strange variety.
You did, yes. Appreciated, but I don't think Eberron, yeah. I don't think I picked up on that, or would have paid much attention to it. Okay. If they're only there because the small lizard folk, because I'm not saying Viashino.
Even though you just did.
Even though I just did. Are unhappy with the current situation and are seeking out at least my assistance, and by extension yours, in ridding themselves of their captors. This Iron Tooth or Iron Fang or whatever it is. Some pompous thing that thinks itself more important than it is.
You hear from the cage next to you. Oh, yeah. You guys, did you actually run into Irontooth? I'm surprised you survived. Of course, Irontooth answers to Calarel, and Calarel answered to me once. But, you know, that's in the past. I'm happy to look towards the future.
I am more interested in...
You have keen ears, small one.
Yep.
Anyway, they want our help, and I suppose through necessity I have offered it. So if you see one, try not to kill it until you know what side it's on. Just pointing it out.
Alright, as you're talking amongst yourselves, you hear a gruff command. Bring me one of them. And you hear kind of a hiccup, and then someone scampers down the hallway.
Which one would it be? 1, 1, or 2, or 3? Because there are 2 ones, apparently. Oh, it'll be number 2.
A goblin with some kind of ranged weapon, you can't get a good look at it because it's at his side, wobbles down, and his eyes are droopy. He's kind of drooling. He smells strongly of ale, and he fumbles around with some keys.
Oh, this is my kind of goblin. Let's go.
Yeah.
And he kind of aims his weapon towards you as he tries to poke the key into the hole, but you see he goes to do it, and it's like he just can't seem to get it in. It taps off one side too far to the left, one side too far to the right, too high, too low. He keeps tapping it against it before finally it gets in, and he slowly opens the door, like just a crack, and he points the weapon towards Augusto and says, "You're coming with me. Nice and easy."
I nod enthusiastically, and I kick open the door.
All right, roll an athletics check. All right, let's actually go ahead and roll initiative.
Initiative first, then? Okay. Gotta love that 0 dex. That's just terrible roll. At least I got that out of the way before my athletics check. I can't possibly roll low on this one now. Alright, we got our initiatives. So, kicking down that door to knock it over with a natural 20. That's what I'm talking about.
Nice.
The little goblin doesn't even know what's going on as you kick the thing open before he can do. Oh wait, your initiative. Oh well, you're just right after him basically. So yeah, as soon as he opens the door and hey, he has his weapon trained on you as best as he can, and you move forward and just kick it down, and you shove him right onto his bottom. He is prone. But let me finish everybody's initiative. Let's see.
And that should have put me on the thing.
Yeah, I don't think you had your guy clicked.
I didn't think I need to if I would do it through my character sheet.
Okay, you think so?
Um,
You have to have your token clicked for it to register.
okay, I'm gonna have to
Unfortunately.
do it. I'm gonna set up a macro, I think, so I don't have to worry about it next time.
Hey, I mean, if that's something you can do, go for it.
Alright, I'm just gonna roll it again with myself clicked, so it'll throw me up there. And I'll
Alrighty.
swap it over to the 4. Unless I get that, well, there's a 5. Basically the same. It doesn't even matter, technically. Everybody's still higher, so I'll just leave it there.
All right. So you kick it open. That's your action. The door is open. This little goblin is prone. What else would you like to do? That's what, about 10 feet of your movement?
Okay, so I'll step out and over here. Well, I'll step out here. I just interact with an object. I can reach down and grab something as a free action, right?
Yeah, once per turn, you got one free grab.
Okay, then I will. Can I try and grab his weapon?
Yes, you may attempt to grab his weapon.
Then I will attempt to do so. Or do so, considering I don't know how surprised he is.
He's got a short sword, and he was holding in his hands a crossbow. A light crossbow.
Pathetic. Short sword then.
Alright, you grab his short sword. It's kind of old and rusty a little bit, but it should serve you well enough for now.
Which was... The short swords was a 1d6, right?
Yep, short swords are 1d6.
I'm just going to use my spear macro for whenever I have to attack my character sheet. Or not, I'll just type it out. Okay, yeah, that's my turn.
Alrighty. Next, you hear the footsteps of an additional goblin charging down the hallway. He reaches up to about where Splug is. And at that moment, I need to give Splug an initiative.
They didn't take away his spear. I guess they did just take his booze.
He is unarmed at the moment, which is exactly what he needs as he reaches around to try and through the bars to try to throttle the little goblin next to him.
Nice.
Oh. Yes. All right. So, the little goblin. Oh yeah, I gotta roll his athletics to oppose it.
It's gonna have to get a really high roll to beat that.
As soon as the little armored goblin stops by the cage, you see Splug leap out. Hey, enjoying my ale now? And you see his little hands wrench around his neck through the bars, and you just hear.
Splug is best boy.
Mitha,
He makes it out of here alive.
you're up. What do you want to do?
Am I able to get past Gerhardt?
Yeah. You can move through allied spaces, no problem.
Cool. I'm gonna go over and grab my supplies.
Alrighty, you start to sift through the stuff. They've been tossing other junk over there. So roll a quick perception check to see if you can find exactly your gear right in this moment.
Not bad.
You do indeed find your gear.
Awesome.
You find your short swords, and you find your bow, and you find most of your arrows.
How many arrows am I able to find?
About 10, because the quiver fell over, and they're scattered out. There's 10 readily available in the actual quiver.
Okay.
Alright, so it's a free action to interact with an object. And that wasn't it wasn't too much effort to kind of sift through it just for a little bit. You can still do something with your action. What would you like to do?
I am going to shoot the sharpshooter in front of us.
Alrighty, well, he is prone.
That would give you disadvantage.
Yep.
You could probably shoot past him with a warrior.
Yeah, alternatively, you could shoot.
You hit him anyway.
Yeah, the 18 hits him square in the chest.
Cool.
And he is sputtering as you send the arrow flying, and he he feels at the wound. All right, that it?
That's it.
All right, Splug had readied his action to grab the guy, but it's his turn again now. So he's going to try and just he's just going to try and ram the guy's head into the bars.
That's not bad.
And the Goblin Warrior, I forgot last time, being that he is drunk, he is poisoned from all the ale he has drank, as are the others. So they are indeed at disadvantage. He fails, and Splug bashes his head against the bars for, let's say, a d6 damage. Two points of damage as you hear a loud clang, and the guy just takes it. And he has this confused, bruised expression on his face. Gerhardt, what will you do?
Let's see. Would he still get an opportunity attack on me if I move away from him without disengaging?
He would, but he is both prone and poisoned, so he's at disadvantage.
Alright.
Actually, he doesn't even have his short sword because Augusto took it from him.
Alright.
So yeah, no, so you, even if he wanted to make an opportunity attack, he can't.
Alright. I'm gonna stand where Mitha is. Mitha? I can't remember.
Mm-hmm.
And look for my stuff.
Alright, you look for your stuff. Roll a quick perception check. You manage to find all of your stuff while sifting through all the junk. No problem.
Cool.
Is there anything else you'd like to do?
I'll go back here. Can I hit him?
Yeah, you can try and whack him.
Yeah,
The door
I'm
is
gonna hit him with
open.
My quarterstaff.
Alright, roll it.
He's prone, so he gets advantage with a melee attack, right?
You do. You have advantage with your melee attack. You hit him for 1 point of damage.
Nice.
Take this.
You kind of whack his hand as he's going for his crossbow.
Yep, that's exactly what you do.
Bad cop.
You hear a loud grumbling. And, you hear loud footfalls and the clanging of metal on metal, like it rakes across something else that's metal. just the ring of it kind of sends an uneasy sense down your spines. And he double moves to get down there, and he is this big, burly goblin, the hairiest goblin you've ever seen, twice the size of normal goblins, and he's got a hot poker in his hand. Like, it looks almost white hot from all the heat. Alright, the sharpshooters run forward, and they take aim at Augusto.
Do I get cover? They got a big old hobgoblin to shoot through.
You do have cover. They aim their crossbows and fire.
Ah.
As does the next one down the line. A 12 misses your armor class. And the sharpshooter, the second one, next to you, uses half his movement to stand up, to hobble up, and he's going to just straight up move away to try and get some distance. And he is provoking an opportunity attack from both Gerhardt and Augusto.
Very good. Very good.
Yeah.
12. There. Maybe low AC? Does 12
Yes, a 12 hits him. He does not have especially good armor, and he is drunk. You both land a blow, dealing 9 points of damage as he runs off. He's looking severely wounded. And that's as far as he can get. And I believe that's all of them. Yep. Augusto, what will you do? Oh, wait, hang on. Oh, no, never mind. The warrior's next. Sorry, my bad. Go ahead.
The warrior's next?
Oh, yeah, he's after you. I mean, next, as in, he's next in initiative. After you.
Yeah, okay.
Right.
I will toss aside the rusted short sword, thankful that it did its job, and I will rifle through for a split second to try and grab my greatsword.
Roll perception as you do. You find it.
Excellent. Banishing my beautiful, beautiful blade, kind of dusting it off, scraping away some gunk that is no doubt collected in the past hour. And I'll walk forward and shout, "Mitha, take out the sharpshooters if you can. I'll engage these. Gerhardt, do what you can." And walk over to this dude over here, the hobgoblin, and make a nice old swing for 23.
Oh. All right, he is in black hide that looks like it's been, like, burnt almost. And you slash into him for 14 points of damage.
That's almost max. It's 1 point off.
He seems to have taken it on the nose, but he is still standing. You'll pay for that, Azorius.
I will answer in Goblin, you will pay for your crimes.
Alright, so the little goblin beside you that's getting its head bashed into the gates is going to attempt to break free. And for Splug's roll.
Come on, Splug. Aw, Splug, no.
The blood from his wound to his face seeps across Splug's hands, and the goblin slips out. And he looks around. and prepares to make an attack, though he has used his action to escape, so. Mitha, it is your turn. Oh, wait, hang on. He will definitely try to move away from Splug. He's drunk enough to know when his head is being bashed into a cage. Okay, now go, Mitha.
All right, can I do another perception check to see if I can find more arrows since I'm right here?
Yes. Yeah, you find the rest of them. You kind of take a moment to scoop up a handful of your remaining arrows.
Awesome. Okay, and then can I see around the bloody head goblin in front of me to the sharpshooter?
He has cover from the warrior, so no, you can't quite see around him.
Okay, we'll go for the warrior then.
Alrighty.
Oh.
10 misses. Unfortunately. That it?
Yep.
Alright, Splug's gonna try and reach around blindly, so he will be at disadvantage to grab the other goblin.
I mean, you could just go for the sharpshooter, but I guess Splug has a vendetta.
He keeps reaching around and says, "Come here." And he can't seem to grasp with his little arm poking around. You can see it trying to grasp at his clothes and things, but the warrior breaks free. Gerhardt.
Let's see here. Put that here. And let's see if we can't make things hard for this.
Good
Torch
boy.
one.
Good boy. That's what I was typing.
Alrighty.
Nice. That's a good damage roll, too. Ugh, unfortunate.
He resists it.
Why do I bother with that move?
It's good for when he has to.
Yeah, that's everything I can do.
The torturer rears back with his red-hot poker and tries to stab at you, Augusto.
Mm-hmm. It's just a little less than a coin toss. It's better odds than most of us get. And
Ooh.
no, he misses.
He clangs against your armor to no avail. The weakened sharpshooter will attempt to get further back before taking a shot. You see him kind of wobble back and forth and scamper away. He is aiming at Augusto. And that is a miss. The next two sharpshooters also aim at Augusto.
Disadvantage MVP.
Ooh, yeah. They are totally drunk. They are not doing hot. Augusto, now it's your turn.
Alright. Another big old swing on our friend here. 14.
You actually hit, I think. Yep, you hit. You slash against him for 11 points of damage. He seems to have tried to parry it with the poker just a little bit, but it clangs against his armor and you dig into his shoulder. Alright.
That's mine.
The little warrior will attempt to hop over and then stab at you.
Brilliant. Phew.
He misses. Mitha, what will you do?
Going for the warrior again.
Alrighty, roll it. Unfortunately, that is a miss, as it just narrowly skids by his ear and clangs into the wall.
Shield's
Alright.
OP.
Splug shouts out, "Come on, come back, I just want a hug." Gerhardt, what will you do?
Mhm. What? No, I'm not gonna do. I think I should continue trying to do frostbite on the torturer, or should I try hitting the warrior?
You're not going to do much damage either way.
You get the sense that the heaviest hitter is probably the torturer.
Yeah. Well, let's see.
Only 1 damage, but it's the disadvantage I want. Nice.
Oh, he fails. You see your frosty magic coat him, and you hear a sizzle. And he seems to shiver some, but he takes the damage, and he will be at disadvantage, but he still seems to be pretty buff. And it's his turn. You see him clasp at his armor, and it kind of gives off a faint glow. Until the end of his next turn, he reduces all damage he takes by 5 points. And then he takes his poker and tries to stab at you, Augusto.
It's a good thing that at minimum I do 5 damage.
Oh, he misses as he fights against the cold. The sharpshooters open fire on Mitha. So does a 14 hit you, Mitha?
Can't imagine it does with that dex of his.
Nope.
No, it's not.
Augusto, it is your turn now.
Very nice. 1 more swing. Well, actually, I think probably 2 more, considering the bloody bastard cheated. And a natural 1. Look at that 13 damage. Ugh.
Anything else?
No, nothing else I can really do, and I ain't walking away.
Alright, the warrior stabs at you from behind. Ooh. Missing as he tumbles over in his drunken stupor. He hiccups loudly. Mitha, it's your up. Or rather, your turn.
Alright, we're gonna try again.
Alrighty.
Dang, what is up with that?
Splug peeks out and says, I thought you did a good job.
Thanks, Splug.
Gerhardt,
MVP.
it's your turn.
Yeah, alright, well, let's keep trying to chill the good old hobgoblin.
Alrighty.
10.
I know it's not gonna do anything, but
Oh, well, he's not at disadvantage, but he succeeds. He is not at disadvantage to his next attack roll.
I'm sorry, I promise
That
I'll
it?
be less inept when I level up. Yes.
Alright, he's coming for you, not Gerhardt, not Gideon, Augusto.
There you go. You got it.
Oof. Alright,
That's it.
you're on fire, basically. 6 points of damage, and you gotta make a con save. You take 2 fire damage at the start of your next turn. And the sharpshooters begin to fire at Mitha. They reload their little crossbows and open fire, and you just, Mitha, you see another hail of bolts coming your way. Alright, so you take a total of 4 points of damage as 2 of those bolts manage to find your flesh. Augusto, what would you like to do now?
Apparently take 2 damage. Great. Hopefully I get lucky in my con roll.
Yep, you are. They're like the fire is just. It's some kind of. There's some kind of just sparks that are on your armor now. It's like it's been somehow it's conducted the heat from the poker. So what would you like to do? Oh, and the torturer is not glowing anymore.
Yeah. Swim a torturer.
You hit.
Better 14. I do. 5. I'll only do 5 damage. There. Make my con roll. Hey.
And
right, no
you manage to kind of endure the all the flames as your armor kind of cools down from what its high temperature was beforehand.
I rolled minimum.
The warrior standing behind you attempts to stab at you again.
Please don't hit. If you hit, I'm dead. You did not hit. I am not dead.
Mitha, what will you do?
Same thing I always do, Pinky.
Are you aiming at the torturer?
Yeah, pretty much.
Yeah. You hit him. And that one shot, you take it as Augusto is kind of he kind of hops over to the side, you know, to pat out the little flames on him, and you take that shot right as he moved over. The arrow goes through the torturer's chest, and he kind of sputters and dies.
Sweet.
And Splug says, "Oh, well, I've seen better than that." Gerhardt, what would you like to do?
This goblin warrior here, he doesn't have the keys, does he? It was this
Yeah,
sharpshooter?
it was the second sharpshooter who is severely wounded.
Alright. I'm going to hit this guy with my sling.
Alrighty. Wait, the sharpshooter or the warrior? I missed. Oh, well, it doesn't matter.
That guy.
Yeah, you missed.
I'm sorry, guys.
The sharpshooters, they kind of squint through their eyes and they see as the torturer falls. And one of them is very wounded. And he starts to run away.
You chicken.
There you go.
As do the other sharpshooters.
I like that. I mean, I like the whole not dying bit, but I don't really appreciate the whole, hey, they could definitely be setting off some alarms as they run. That I don't like.
Alrighty. Augusto, you're up.
Alright. Ease off, pat off my the boiling armor or whatever, and take a swing at the warrior behind me.
Oh, you
44,
slice
seven
into
damage.
him. Alrighty, and it's his turn, and he's gonna try and... Actually, he sees his companions running, and he's going to try and run also.
Only 9.
You miss, and as you do... He kind of dives away from the swing and gains an extra little boost of 5 feet as he does.
I can still get him.
Alrighty.
Or not.
Mitha, what will you do?
Just swamp.
Well, let's move down the hall. I think that sounds good. Can I see around here?
Can you see what? You kind of broke up there a minute on my end.
Oh, am I able to see anything from here?
You can kind of make out the room a little bit. You can see another cage in the end, but you can't really see much else.
Okay, then I will end my turn there.
Splug looks at you and says, "Oh, hello there. I've never met an elf in my life." Gerhardt.
I like.
What's Gearhart gonna do? Not much. Let's see here. Let's see here. I guess, yeah, I'll just end there. There's not much else I can do.
You can double move.
That is
I
true.
can double move and then I get shot at.
Coward.
Well, you know what, they are kind of running. We'll see. I see you.
Alrighty, that it?
Yes.
Alright, and now it is their turn. And they do indeed start to run. You start to hear a loud commotion as they escape. Augusto, what will you do?
Augusto will curse the fact that he did not grab his spear before. But believes he has no time to return for at the moment. 40 feet. 10 feet, so I get there 50. 55, whatever. It will double move and stand here in front of the dude.
Alrighty.
The dude, rather.
That it?
Yep. Hold on his trail.
And the warrior continues to dash away, provoking an opportunity attack from you.
All according to Kakaiku.
Oh, you get him.
There will be no disengage this time.
No, sir.
I mean, still gonna run, but
He's still gonna run, but I'm gonna hit him hard as he's running away. And I'm just gonna catch up,
Mitha,
back up to him.
what will you do?
Can I see anything on Splug's cage that would indicate a way for him to get out? Or is it
You look
Key only.
around. Yeah, it's key only.
Okay, I'll tell Splug I'll come back for him. But I will keep moving.
Great. At least someone will.
Yep, and that's it.
Gerhardt, what would you like to do?
You can double move.
I know. Let's see here. How far away is this guy down here? He is.
Yeah, he is well out of your line of sight.
Even if I got close, I wouldn't be able to hit him. Is there anything in this room here that we're in that's maybe worth rifling through?
Well, you see an Iron Maiden that is standing idly open, spikes and everything. Yeah, that. And you see knives and something that looks kind of like a spirally pokey bit, and some little clamps, and
You got the rack.
yeah, and then it's an actual rack up in the corner, and the fiery pit that has been used to inflame things.
Right, that's the poker.
Yeah, the poker.
Hate that freaking thing.
I mean, these guys are just gonna keep running away from us.
Naturally, we don't know they're taking up clearly defensive positions there, but oh,
Right.
and that other goblin warrior. You don't see that though.
I guess I'll just keep moving for now.
Appreciate
Pressing
it.
Q, I swear.
You can do it.
Wouldn't the key still have been stuck in the door when you kicked it open?
Maybe, but I'm not after the key. I'm just after the blood.
Yeah, let's move to here.
Alrighty. The goblins continue to run. And you hear one warrior shout out, "What are you Nimrods doing?" from down here. It's this little guy around the corner. And the other goblins shout out, We're not paid enough for this. Calarel can come find us if he wants revenge." And they skedaddle up the stairs. Augusto, what will you do?
Whoosh.
You charge round a corner and draw your weapon, and you stare down the goblin warrior as he is wounded and nearly dead.
Blah.
Oh, you slice into him with that greatsword roll.
That's not my attack.
Oh, sorry.
My attack last turn. Nobody's done anything.
That's right. Yeah, last turn. Ah, you almost had me there. Trying to get one over on the DM, huh? In his tired
No,
stupor.
because I literally corrected you.
A likely story.
I double moved. I can't attack even if I wanted to. You shouldn't have. Well, I mean, I'm gonna hit. I just want to be honest about it. So that's my turn. Oh, you two.
All right. As you make your way down, Andros and Gideon, you have followed the advice of Delphina, telling you to make your way across a hill of yellow flowers and to look around. And using your nose, Andros, you have steadily guided yourself and Gideon down the path your allies had taken. You come across some ruins, and as you're wondering if this is the right place, you see about 3 goblins dash out in a mad just exodus as they leap out. And then you kind of think, yeah, this is probably the place. Roll initiative as you descend down the stairs. Oh yeah, Gideon, you are also at full health.
By chance, the goblins that were running away,
Oh,
they
did
happened to
drop any keys?
the key. Yes.
Let's see. I'll give one of them a dexterity saving throw. If they don't make a 15, then we'll say they drop the keys. Because they are drunk and they're not really paying attention. Oh, he drops the keys right practically onto your trunk. It's like a ring toss, and you're just like, oh, what's over here? And then yoink, keys.
Excellent. I will pick them up because I will presume they are important.
Okay, let's see. And it is now the warrior's turn, who will continue to try and run.
15.
That hits.
9 damage. Eat it and weep.
He literally has 1 hit point left.
Oh my freaking. Alright, well, Gideon, you're gonna have fun fighting that one because he doesn't have disadvantage, and I am not touching that at 4 HP.
Mitha, what would you like to do?
For now, I think I'll just catch up.
Alrighty. Andros.
70 feet a moment.
She's a wood elf, so she has an extra 5 feet, doesn't she?
Correct.
Okay then.
There is a lightly armored goblin standing before you, and he looks kind of tipsy.
As he comes around that corner, I'm caught by surprise and I automatically cast a firebolt.
Roll it. Well, you deal 17 points. Oh, what is that? Yeah, that's 17 points of damage. He's dead.
You freaking nuke him.
Yeah, you just straight up nuke him.
I was surprised!
And you did die, so everything's extra scary.
Yeah, exactly. I'm paranoid.
Gerhardt, what will you do?
Let's see here. What shall I do?
I guess I will warn him that I do think I heard another, less drunk ahead.
This pillar's in the way of this guy, isn't it?
Yep, you hear him over there, but you can't quite see him all that well.
Any chance I can just try with disadvantage?
I mean, you can see him enough to use a spell on him that targets him.
Yeah. Well then here. Eat one of these.
Oh, he doesn't have disadvantage. He is not drunk.
Yeah, of course he doesn't. Well, that's all I can do.
Alrighty. At all this commotion, a couple of other goblins start to stir, and they rush up from behind.
Yeah, mother.
Andros, one takes aim at you and says, "Intruders! Intruders!" And my internet just went out. Sorry about that, folks. That might be a moment before it kicks back in. But we'll just take a look. Yep, okay, so Augusto is a turn away. Gideon is feeling better, so that should be good for them. They've routed most of their enemies, and they are making their assault on Shadowfell Keep. Soon they should hopefully be in better straits, but, you know, we'll see how that goes. But make sure you comment in the comment section below on if you've ever had a great escape like one of these, or something similar. Ah, my internet's back.
And he's back. Oh, there it is.
Ah, my internet's back. Okay, so whatever was it, the attack roll that was first, that's the one that goes towards Andros.
8. Whoosh.
Oh, that ain't hitting.
Yeah, that's
All right.
way better than that 18 the second shot.
But it's still relevant because a second sharpshooter pops out from behind as well.
Mother. Sorry, Andros, you're taking that 8 anyway.
Yes, indeed. That 18 pierces your armor, your thick hide, and you take 8 points of damage.
That's garbage.
That is really bad for you, buddy.
Gideon! Yes, you're alive, and it's your turn, so... Ah, there we go. You move in front of your ally. Now remember, you've got a -4 penalty to your attack roll if you're planning on doing the Warlock thing and casting Eldritch Blast.
Say the line.
Oh, heroism. So, who is the recipient of this?
I guess it'll be his friend.
Andros, you now have, what, 4 temporary hit points? Yeah, at the start of, yeah. You're immune to fear. And when your next turn starts, you will get 4 temporary hit points just right off the bat. Augusto!
I forgot about that -4. I'm not a very happy camper, because now I actually have to be on the front lines again. I can't even... I can, actually. I can get over there. Nice. Boop. Okay. I'll get over there then. I want you people covering me, though.
Alrighty.
Charging forth. Reckless abandon. No one is above the law. And I was typing out my roll out of habit. I could just push my fancy button. I should have rolled.
Oof.
Man, I'm not on a warrior. Alright, that's my turn.
He hops out of the way almost like instinctively. Alrighty, and it is his move. He'll look back and forth, and he'll try to stab at Augusto. He kind of snickers as he moves forward and makes for his strike. Or rather,
Phew. That's 11. No disadvantage for shooting in melee. What?
yep. He's strafing in a burst of speed. He's in such a specific way that you can't quite get a beat on him, and he pops you as you're trying to kind of swing, defensively swing away at him.
He did move out of my threatened square. I can make an attack of opportunity against him.
Yes, you can.
As I was reading that, I was going over that very carefully because my brain is very slowly because it's very late.
Yes. Oh, and you slice him for 10 points.
Darn tootin'. Whatever the apparent glass cannon, because literally everyone seems capable of hitting a 16. Except for this guy. Whoosh.
Ah, he missed you. All right.
Good. Mitha, if you would.
Indeed.
My
Mitha, you see a second warrior pop out from around a corner. What do you want to do?
Alright, let's go for that guy.
Alrighty, roll it. That is not so good.
My rolls are awful.
Andros, you're up. What would you like to do now? You have 4 temporary hit points. So just remember, the next time you take damage, reduce it by 4.
And also you have that -4 to attack rolls.
That is also true. So we'll just...
Towards Firebolt.
Yep.
I saw a +4 modifier to your last one, so I guess it's just a flat roll for you, bud.
Yeah,
Which is better than having a negative.
let's
Hi,
see.
piece of crap cat. Why you keep scratching me?
I can see this guy right here, right?
Yeah, you can see that guy.
Okay, this one too.
I would love it if somebody would target the ranged guys instead of just leaving them alone the entire fight.
Well, they're 50 feet away. My fireball can hit them. So
Yeah. You have 120-foot range.
I'm gonna go ahead and
You gotta take a shot.
take a shot at that one.
Alrighty.
They're relatively squishier, not by a lot.
Wow, even with the -4, you actually managed to hit. His AC is 11 as you kind of step aside past Gideon and then return to your position behind him. And you get 1 point of fire damage.
You have time to see it coming.
Splug is Splug. Gerhardt, what would you like to do?
Another. Oh,
Save the line, Druid. I cast Frostbite.
I wish I had other spells to use, but since I was dead, it didn't count as a long rest.
Nope.
Alright.
To be fair, it didn't count as one for me either.
Who do I want Frostbite? Because obviously that's what I'm gonna do.
Well, I'm kind of mixed on whether Scarf and Sharpshooters are going to hit, but these warriors are probably going to focus me.
Yeah, just kind of a little bit more weak than they are at the moment. At the same time, yeah, the sharpshooter.
You can see that one at least.
Yeah.
Oh yeah,
So it's kinda in the
Augusto. Just real quick, Augusto, while you're over there, roll me a perception check.
That's not good. Yeah, at least I took it as a skill, so I have that +2. 19.
All right. As you try to follow the little goblins as they're running around you, you notice that around here in the middle, there's something off. It looks like there's some kind of false floor, and you can hear some squeaking, some kind of ravenous squeaking.
That's not good.
All right, continue, Gerhard.
I'm gonna frostbite this guy.
Alrighty.
Nice, good damage. Come on.
Oh my gosh, he failed.
Good.
He takes the 6 damage and is at disadvantage to his next attack roll.
It's bound to happen eventually.
Cat.
All right, Gideon, the sharpshooters take aim and prepare to fire at you.
Cat. Stop it. Why do you have to be so cute?
Oh,
You
God.
take 9 points of damage on that second hit, Gideon. Are you down?
Oh. I think he's at 10.
Please.
Oh my gosh, you're alive. Okay. Whew.
Oh, no, Gideon, not Gerhard. Okay.
Oh yeah, that would have killed me.
And the sharpshooters retreat back down the hallway.
Clark the Merciful. Well, that's more just to keep him, the ranged guys from going at him. So
Gideon, what will you do? Oh, let's see. Was heroism a concentration spell? Yep, you're gonna have to make that constitution save.
Yeah, it's just a 10. You got this, buddy.
Uh-oh.
He's sticking through his thing. I didn't hear it. Gotta make a concentration check, Gideon. Mr. Jake boy.
Constitution save.
Ah.
Oh well.
Did we lose Jake?
Did we lose you, buddy?
I don't think so.
It's possible. Maybe he didn't think that anything was going to happen, so he stepped away for a moment while all the other turns were going on.
Maybe.
He could have stayed something.
Alright, I'll roll his constitution for him, and if he's not back by the end of that, then he's going to take the dodge action.
Not a bad idea, but if I didn't need to be putting out damage, so somebody would be putting damage, I might consider it.
He fails with that -4. You no longer have your temporary hit points, Augusto, or not Augusto, Jose.
I wish I had those 10 base.
Okay.
I had that.
Unfortunately. Okay.
I'd be a lot less freaking terrified.
Alright, Gideon is taking the dodge action, so attacks against him have disadvantage. Augusto, now it's your turn.
Hey, Mitha. Mitha friendo, do you think you're gonna start hitting those ranged attack rolls? Because I kind of don't want to get downed.
I'm trying.
Is she gone too?
Well, she can certainly try. Right now, though, you've got a goblin warrior next to you.
Yeah.
And you fear some kind of trap in the middle of the room.
Yeah. Which I will point out. So something's in the floor. Stay out of the middle. And will. I believe in you, Mitha. You will not roll a 2 on your next roll. I'm going to take the dodge action as well.
Alrighty. The goblins have disadvantage on their attack rolls against you. And it's their turn. The first one takes a stab. Or rather, he's going to be a little agile.
Wait, wasn't it just Gusto's turn?
It was.
Yeah, he took the dodge action.
Yeah, I dodged.
Oh, I'm sorry. I didn't. My fault.
I still got a swing though.
Yeah, you still get that swing.
Just the first one, which is the 14.
Ah, that one hits.
Yeah.
Wouldn't-
8 damage.
Wouldn't the goblin that just went through the middle of the room set off the trap?
He did not go through. He went diagonally.
Okay.
The trap is, you gotta go exactly through the square. As it would seem. You do note that he is very careful as he's moving around to keep to the edge.
Yeah, well, it wouldn't does a ranged attack? What kind of ranged attack does he have?
One with a spear, but it didn't even matter.
Did he throw a spear or did he run at me too?
Basically he kind of like ran at you.
Okay. Whoosh. Oh, that guy's going up there.
Well, he does at least have disadvantage.
I don't know if we can go unless he throws a spear. He should have one more thing of movement though.
Oh, he misses. Mitha, what would you like to do?
I'm gonna move up next to Gerhardt and go for Goblin Warrior number 2 up there.
The second warrior, alrighty.
Okay, that's the only one you got any view on.
Yep. The other one, in the very least, has cover.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, and that definitely hits.
A hearty blow. Oh, well, that guy has no HP. What?
Sweet.
Sorry, yeah.
Okay, there you go.
Accidentally hit
Alright,
21 instead of 11. Alright.
That makes more sense.
Andros, what will you do now?
I'm going to shoot a firebolt.
Alrighty, roll it.
Low level caster gameplay. That's 13 on the Goblin Warrior.
Unfortunately, he ducks out of the way, and your bolt goes far, and it actually hits the area back there, and it catches on fire. What you thought was some just floor tiles appears to be some kind of canvas, and it burns away. And as you see it burning, you see what was inside, or you see what it was covering. A pit full of ravenous rodents. And you hear Gerhardt and Mitha echoing from the distance. I'm okay! Come back sometime later! Alright, Gerhardt, what would you do? The rats are still safely tucked away in their little hidey hole down there. So they are no real threat to you. Yep, you look down and you can see them. It's a 10-foot pit. Alright, you take aim at the second goblin warrior and prepare to, I presume... Oh, you're gonna sling him. Wow, that hit. You bust out your little sling, pop a pebble into the holster, and with a quick flick, smacking the goblin into the face, he stumbles back against the corner and then gets his footing again. Alrighty. The sharpshooters start to move back out from their positions.
What do you want? Huh? What do you want?
Alrighty. Gerhardt, you're taking this first attack. I think a 12 misses you.
Yeah, he's got armor on, I think. He should have at least leather.
Alright, Gideon, this next arrow is at you, and you did take the dodge action last turn, so it is at disadvantage. Oh, that misses. Gideon, are you back now? Alright, so you lost your concentration on your heroism. Because, yeah, you took a hit and you coughed kind of like that. Alright, what do you want to do? There's a wee little goblin sitting right in front of you. And he definitely looks wounded. He just took a sling to the face. And he's kind of hobbling around a little. He looks weakened. Unfortunately, your blast misses. I presume the warrior is who you're aiming for, right? Well, I mean, it misses any of them with -4. Anything else? Augusto, you're alive, and the goblins are near you. What will you do?
Well, no objection this time.
Oh, you're gonna press your attack.
Press my attack. With
Oh, and press it you do.
damage.
You slice into the goblin. He is severely wounded. He is not doing hot. Alrighty. And it's his turn. He is just going to straight up try and do his fancy maneuvering.
Dumbass. A dumb butt. The reason he's so dang dead.
And you actually do manage to hit him. Just as he's trying to leap away, you slice him in the back and he falls dead.
I'm gonna shake my head at him.
The other goblin does a similar tactic.
Going to chuck his spear at me, or is he just going to hang out there?
Yep, he's going to chuck his spear.
And
Oh, and that misses.
why is he at disadvantage?
Oh, I had it still clicked. He does not. He still rolled a 5 though. Mitha! Mitha, what will you do?
Let's go for the rat swarm since they're right in front of me.
Well, they're down a 10-foot pit. They're actually at no real threat to you unless you fall in.
Okay, cool. Let's go for the warrior.
Alrighty. That is exactly enough to hit. Your arrow flies across the pit and embeds into the shoulder of this poor goblin, and he whimpers. And he makes these little grunty noises. Andros, what would you like to do? You actually are starting to see all of your companions in one place now. Or rather, the people that you met like several hours ago, like just this morning, in fact. And they're alive. What do you want to do?
Let's see. Can I don't know what to do.
Well, you can shoot someone with a firebolt. There's always an option.
Yeah, that's. I'll shoot. I'll shoot this one.
Alrighty, roll it. You actually, even with a -4, managed to hit him. His AC is 11. Oh, nice. For 10 points of damage. Alright, you motion with your big broad hand, and from the palm, you propel a bolt of fire into this little goblin, and it yelps in pain. Gerhardt, what would you like to do?
I'm actually going to try to hit this goblin warrior over here with a sling again.
Alrighty, that worked out fairly well last time. Roll it. That, unfortunately, is a miss. He bats it away with his spear.
Of course. I either hit and do low damage, or I miss and get good damage.
Anything else?
Nothing else I can do at the moment.
Alright. Okay, so Augusto, you took your opportunity attack last turn, right? Yeah,
yes.
you stabbed at that one warrior. Alrighty. These sharpshooters are going to move forward and both shoot at you.
Okay. Well, even if they move forward like that, I wouldn't. I guess if he moves to the side. Okay. 9 misses.
Oh, he does not have... I gotta turn off the disadvantage. He does not have disadvantage, but a 9 definitely misses.
Okay, yeah, he definitely would have.
20 total, but you only take 1 point of damage. And then he dashes away. Or not actually dashes, but you know what I mean. He skids off.
I get you.
Gideon, you're alive. What do you want to do? The goblins seem to be considering a retreat just from the way they look nervous now that they're wounded. Yeah, the rats are in the pit. They are, they eagerly want to leap out, but it's like 10 feet, and they're not so good at that. Okay, so that's a column that you're in. Yeah, there you go. Yeah, you can't see these other guys. You can sort of see the. Oh well.
You have 2 spells?
Yeah, I think you've already used your spell slot.
That's fine. I would have loved it if you had it. That would have been a Leroy Jenkins moment as I were running there, which I'm gonna do anyway.
Oh, you're shooting the warrior, right? Oh, with a -4, you still hit, but he is at 1 point of health left. He still stands. Augusto, it is your move.
Augusto is an idiot. A reckless fool. But
That's the
damn
best
if you don't
kind.
go- Yeah, but damn if you don't got balls. As he rushes in there to take on the stupid archers again.
All right, you see them slowly setting up their crossbows for another shot as you come barreling down the hall. And unfortunately, one of them manages to dodge out of the way, and with the momentum of his his dodge, he does that.
Oh, he's got that too. That's so dumb.
He gets a reaction, disengages,
Yeah, I
and
know.
moves 5 feet away.
Yeah.
All right, Gideon, a warrior, the goblin warrior that you shot, moves around and then prepares to fire at you himself.
He likes to throw his spears.
Ah, but that misses. Mitha, you're up. The goblins are circling around the room. You hear rats in a hole. Augusto just ran down a hallway. You don't see where he's going or what he's doing. What do you want to do?
I am going to go up here
Yeah.
and go after this goblin warrior.
All right. You snap a arrow to your bow and you let it loose. The goblin warrior now sports a large arrow in an eye socket. You see him slowly falter and kind of clamp at the wound before he dies.
Awesome.
Andros, what do you want to do?
I am moving. And I'll go here.
Alrighty. Taking refuge behind a big, nice column.
Yes, and that is all I can do.
Gerhardt, it is your move.
Let's see here. I'm just gonna squeeze past Gideon here. I'm going to.
Yes, you see them fairly clearly.
I'll attack this one with my sling.
Alrighty, roll it. Nope.
Wow. Oh, yeah.
If I die again, I'm not even gonna remake a character. I'm just gonna take it as a sign that I'm cursed in this campaign.
Alrighty. Augusto, the goblins aim their bolts both at you.
Misses. Also misses.
Both missing. They clank against your armor, and you parry another away. Gideon! You stride down the hall, and the goblins come into view. They have a look of fear. And you hit one. Which one are you aiming for? You crackle the energy into your hand and then unleash it, and it manages to find its mark, pummeling a goblin in the stomach as he lies flat against the wall for a moment and then finds his footing again. Augusto, it is your move.
Step forward diagonally and take a swing at the super injured one.
You hit.
10 damage.
He dies as you lop his head off. You drag your sword across the air, and in a big, broad arc, you just decapitate him. The little green head rolls down, and you can kind of see into this room a little bit better now.
Ah, neat. Oh. Interesting.
Alrighty. Mitha, it's your move.
Were we able to see into this room on the side over here?
Oh, yeah, sorry. You can see. It's a hallway that leads down to a door, and another little hallway over there.
Okay, cool. I will, you know what? I'll come over here in case Augusta needs help. And I believe I'm not able to get a clear shot on the sharpshooter. Is that correct?
That is correct. Augusto is in the way, so he has +2 AC for cover.
So you'll be rolling for like a 13, I think, to hit.
Yeah, but they're still not too hard to hit.
I would love an arrow.
Wait, you want me to hit you? What?
I would love for you to try to hit the goblin sharpshooter.
Oh, okay.
Atta girl.
Oh, and you definitely hit him. Augusto, you just you squat just for a moment, and an arrow whizzes past you, and it embeds into the goblin's neck. And you can definitely see he's getting pretty wounded. Andros, what will you do? You yourself are quite wounded.
Indeed. I shall move here. Here. Dang it. I shall move here. And lean against the wall.
Gerhardt.
Let's aim a frostbite at this sharpshooter.
Yay. Nice.
He fails.
Nice.
You hear him shiver and whimper. Anything else?
I wish.
And it's his turn. He is going to try and stab at you with a short sword, Augusto.
You will try. You will fail.
And he scrapes against your armor, and it's like he's just raking against it, like, yeah, just back and forth, and he's finding no flesh to stab with it. Gideon! It's your move.
Oh,
Oh, moving down, huh? Alrighty. You stand on the goblin body. Oh, you're gonna use the help action. Alright, Augusto, you got advantage on your next attack roll, and it's your turn next.
nice. Okay, good boy. Click the goodly button there.
Oh, you
Nice.
hit. You hit, and you deal exactly what you need to kill him. The goblin dies as you stab into his body, and you feel him like the majority of his torso is taken up by your mighty greatsword.
Augusta will give Gideon a short nod.
And the goblin is dead. The room, such that it is, seems to be yours now. The rats scurry and scamper against the hole. Andros holds the keys on his trunk. What do you want to do next?
I'll step forward. The goblin, the ones that ran away, went your way. Where did they go?
They just ran off into the distance.
Man, goblins are notorious cowards.
Scampered in different directions. But in a very tipsy state.
Yes, that came in handy. Like, legitimately, we would have been dead if it weren't for that.
Also, in their attempt to get away, they dropped these keys. I don't know if any of you know what they would be used for.
Numerous things. At least one of them opens cages.
Then I shall hand you the keys.
There are 3 keys on that ring.
And there were 3 cells. Okay.
Yep.
I'm retrieving my things, and I suppose we can see whether we want to release the other prisoner. Should anyone be interested?
I shall follow.
Alrighty. What about the rest of you? Gerhardt, Mitha, Gideon?
I guess we'll stay in this area and keep watch.
Not a bad idea.
Maybe I'll stand right here. That way, in case someone tries to run through here, I can try to trip him with my quarterstaff and knock him into the swarm pit.
Also not a bad idea.
Oh, yeah, agreed. Warhammer, spear.
Yes, Augusto, you gather your things.
Mostly my weapon.
Yep. You also gather, basically you can gather as many spears as the goblins had, and they had a fair few each. And they had crossbow bolts and etc.
Am I able to recover some arrows from the bodies?
Yes, you are.
Awesome.
Alright, Andros, as you walk down through this actual torture chamber following Augusto, you see in one cell a little green goblin who looks to you and says, "Wow, I've never seen an elephant person before. Hiya."
Hello, strange little one.
Yeah, I'm Splug.
Hello, Splug. I'm Andros.
Oh. So, I see you've got some nice little shiny keys there.
Yes, I presume one of these will open your cell?
Oh, yeah, that'd be fantastic.
Augusto will toss them back to the elephant man. Your decision. I can't really be bothered.
I shall let you out, Slug. If you're in there you're in there for a reason. Even though if your own kind put you there.
Oh, they didn't put me there originally. I just wanted to be here.
A thought occurs to Augusto. He also appears to be a chronic liar, so don't really trust anything it says.
Well then,
Those rations of ale found their way into my pack on their own. I had nothing to do with it. And then they threw me in here.
interesting. Let me consult with the rest of my group to see if they want you to come along.
Oh, I can promise I'll be the best of help.
Freaking sprints out of the room. I love it.
So, how many of you? What do you think about letting
Plug.
Splug out?
I'm all for it.
Hey, he kind of helped us with that one guy until he moved out of the way.
He did.
Mhm.
For my part, I don't either.
So, should I just throw the keys at him and let it be?
If you want to gleam some, kind of read between the lines, get a sense for him. If you'd like, I'll allow you to roll some insight checks real quick. Anyone who cares to.
I suppose. Why not? I trained it as a skill. Advantage, but that was just 20 anyway.
Yeah, a 20 is pretty darn good. You definitely feel like you're right in assessing that he is a pathological liar and lies about everything. But you sense that he would be useful. He does not seem like he would betray you immediately.
I could have thought. Until the ring takes hold of its mind and forces it to betray it. Before falling dramatically into a volcano. Yeah.
I have to agree with Mitha.
I forgot there's 3 of you. Or 2. 3.
So,
Yeah, on Andros Gerhardt. No, Gerhardt is Simic.
Combine.
Yep.
Yeah. It's the one where you're joining us in like 2 months or something. That's the other Selesnya. As much as I hesitate to trust the goblin, and I believe I'm right in saying that he is in fact just don't trust the dang word that comes out of his mouth, or at least a fact check if you can. He will likely be useful. He claims, well, we know, in point of fact, that he has worked here. He knows the lay of the land. I don't know how far anyone plans to go in. Personally, I'm not really feeling up to it at the moment. As he kind of rubs his wounds.
Well, he doesn't have to stay with us.
No, I suppose he doesn't. But it could be useful for the short time we will have him in our company. He works for Iron Claw and Iron Fang, Iron Tooth, and the thing he works for, to step up. And can at least give us an idea of what we're up against. Find out if this really is the cult or something else.
Then I shall let him out.
So, that would likely be for the best. Mitha also wouldn't hate it, as he once again sprints off. Boop, 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 boop.
Alright, so I unlock the cell door.
You
and
open
Slog
it.
is now free.
Splug dashes out. He is like attached to your legs, and he's giving you like little kisses on there, and he's like, "Oh, thank you, thank you, thank you. I am forever indebted to you." And he's just clinging
Pat
on.
him on the head lightly.
No good can come of this.
Let's see.
So, I would like to leave, but I do owe ya. So, what would you like me to do?
Well, let's meet up with the rest of the group, and perhaps they have questions for you.
Questions are best with ale. And he kind of scampers off into a room down south of this chamber, just a short bit. Right about here, actually.
Ah,
And you hear him kind of tampering around with bottles and things, and he comes back bearing like 5 or 6 rations of ale, wineskins, and a couple bottles and things like that. It's like his little arms are just full of them.
yeah.
As much as I'd hate to go back there, because I would hate to go back there. The torture chamber would be pretty safe to hang around in for a while.
Oh,
We don't want to be on Balgron's menu.
Baldrins?
Yeah, Balgron. He's the goblin boss of this floor.
I'm sorry, did you say goblin boss of this floor?
Yeah, he is like the leader on this area. He was my immediate supervisor.
Ah, okay.
But my attempt to usurp him failed. Can't believe I called him brother. And he looks all sad and dejected.
I see. Augusta will take one of the flagons of ale. Safe, you say.
Well,
What makes
I
you say
mean,
that?
you don't want to go into a torture chamber yourself, do you?
I just was.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah. Remember
Well,
when we fought our way out of it?
Did that just happen? I don't remember.
could not we retreat back to Winterhaven?
We could, but we would lose any ground we'd gain here. Though I suppose we would know the entrance. They would likely be heavier guarded. He claims that the room would be safe for the moment. Not sure what he means by it, but I assume he means we simply close the door and refuse to let anybody in while we all rest.
Rest does sound good right now.
I'm not wrong. Now, it feels a bit like scavenging and led to that whole thought, but at least for Augusto, I will look him over for any money. All the bodies.
All the bodies. Yes, one moment, please.
And for anything that can be of use.
Well, while he's looking at all the bodies,
just to let you know, if we wanted to take turn keeping watch, since I'm an elf, I only have to meditate for 4 hours. And that counts as a full night's rest, and then I can keep watch for the rest of the time.
There's only one person will need to keep watch before you. That would be handy. Anybody else? Conveniently handy that way.
Or you only have to keep watch for, like, each person would only keep watch for an hour, and then to the time.
Maybe 2 watches before you. Maybe 2 watches before you. Something like that. Gerhardt, you look healthy.
I'll take a watch.
Excellent. But are we committed to staying in the evening? There's literally no need. We could leave and be fine. It's just an option on the table. This seems to be the best lead we have, or at least what most of us seem to be here for.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, yeah, just don't bother the puppets while you're up here.
No, what now?
I'm not even going to take that with a response, Goblin. Is anybody want to look at that ominous room down that hallway there? There appears to be 2. One leading to a large chamber and one leading into a closed door.
Yeah, I can look.
Yes, please be sneaky about it. Just try the open room. We'll leave the door for now.
All right, you are exceptionally sneaky. Where are you going to first?
I am going. Can I go here to look around the corner?
Yes.
We'll do that first.
You see a halfway open curtain.
Oh, it's his goblin harem, obviously.
Am I still sneaky?
Yes, you are still sneaky.
I will pass the curtain real quick and go look and see what's over here.
The door is ready to explode.
You
Ooh.
see a doorway, and there is a door in front of it. Do you attempt to open it?
Not yet. I just wanted to make sure that nothing was coming down the hall. I do want to take a peek around the half-open curtain since I don't have to move it.
Alrighty. You see what looks to be like another kind of storage area. Like barrels and supplies and things are just strewn about. Looks to be water and food, rations, things like that.
But it's empty of life?
Yes, it seems to be completely empty of life otherwise.
Okay, I will go back and tell everyone else what I found.
Good news.
Could there be potions in that room for healing?
Nobody's that lucky, Andros. That would be what the sleep would be for.
Oh, and you do notice there are beds right down there where the goblins were sleeping.
Yeah, but I'm not really eager to jump into a goblin bed.
It's too small for me, anyways.
Oh yes, it's quite nasty.
It's nasty and far too small for our elephant friend. Alright, we got the mystery door. We got 2 storage rooms, one full of booze, one full of food. Looks like we have a base of operations, lads. Yay! We have our keep and we're level 1. Isn't that great?
Is this door right
and
here?
the magical mystery door that Andros is
Oh, which door? This one at the bottom here?
At the way top.
Oh,
At the top.
way
near
up at the top. Let's
torture
see.
And
chamber.
there is also
Oh.
that one down there.
Oh, where the torture chamber's at. That one. That door. Are you trying it?
No, I was just asking if that was a door.
Yes, that is indeed a pair of doors.
But I'm not going to try it. News. Not while I'm wearing this heavy armor and have disadvantage on stealth checks. Do you want to try opening doors, or should we leave them as they are?
Part of me feels like leaving them as they are.
Well,
I think we should leave them as they are for now until next time, maybe, and focus on getting some rest right now.
Rest is good. Rest is
Yes.
great. I love that idea.
Agreed.
Oh, the goblins in that initial area that you dealt with had 43 gold pieces on them and 51 silver pieces.
Okay. Do you have a treasure thing yet?
Also,
Somebody did. Who's taking care of that? Was that Jake?
let's see. Have you... Or is that all you're going to take from these guys? Or is that all you're going to take from these guys? I mean, they had their weapons otherwise.
Is anybody want spears? I think it was
51 silver.
51 silver. Okay.
Yep, 43 gold.
You got that. That's all I'm really interested in. I have 0 depth, so the ranged weapons don't interest me, and I already have a spear.
I am interested in the ranged ones.
They're just crossbows, light crossbows.
I will take one because I do not have one.
Okay. There's plenty to choose from. We've killed like 30 of these freaking sharpshooters, it feels like. Or at least fought that many.
I guess I could take a spear to have a piercing weapon instead of just bludgeoning for melee.
A good idea.
Yeah, that's why I have everything I have. Sword for slashing.
If I take a crossbow, how many bolts am I able to find?
You got like 20 bolts just between all the goblins.
And it's a light crossbow?
Yep, light crossbow.
Okay.
I believe I can use spears.
Okay, so
Yes.
we're staying
So,
here.
Are we
Like
going
what?
to split the money found, or?
Well, I don't know about you, Andros, but I think the general consensus amongst the original party members was a group fund of a sort.
Yeah, we're basically pulling the resources.
Okay.
Group effort and all that. If you need gold, see the treasurer. He will point to the magic pretty winged man.
All right. Well, I don't know about you, but I'm ready for a rest.
Yeah.
Hey, which is
Both
why
in Ravnica and in real life.
which comes to the question I have been repeatedly asking. Are we staying here, or are we not?
You know, we stay here, we don't have to come back and risk another brawl with those horrible lizards.
As I stated, most of the lizards appear to be on our side, if not publicly, in spirit.
That's true. I'm fine for staying here. I can think of life.
The only risk would be the
goblins.
The boss.
Oh,
the
yeah,
boss
yeah,
and
right.
any reinforcements he can muster. Of course, there were plenty of objects we could use to barricade the. No, we couldn't, could we? That torture room door swings out.
Yes, it does.
Well, maybe we could slide the Iron Maiden in front of it.
You can certainly try.
Splug.
Yes. He says as he's got he's basically like downing 2 or 3 bottles at once. Like they're just all thrust into his mouth, and it's like he's just chugging it all.
I will take a sip of my flagon and pass it to Andros. Gesture to him to pass it on to somebody else if he wants. Does anybody else want any? And say, this floor boss, is he a hobgoblin or a standard?
He's just a really fat goblin.
It's sense motive, or insight rather.
All right, roll your insight.
I do not know. I trust him implicitly. Okay, Factwalton. Got it. That's great.
Yep, he should be up that behind that big door next to the torture chamber, the big one. His room is down that hall.
Well, isn't it just splendid how we all decided not to open that one? That's just great. All right, and that one down that hallway to the in front. What's that go to?
Which one?
Though down here.
Down there. Oh, yeah, that's where all those meat puppets are.
Meat puppets.
Mm-hmm.
Explain.
Yeah, you know. Sometimes those red and black guys will make the dead walk.
Oh,
Yeah, corpses.
Hmm.
Yeah, that Calarel guy.
Who knows it?
Yeah, we don't go down there much.
what was that name?
His name was Calarel.
Can you spell it out for me?
Karel. I think. Yeah.
Carlo. Okay.
Yep, that's it.
Alright, Carlo. Rakdos. We need a clue. A clue page, too.
Yeah, I believe, word from the others was that he came down here about 6 months ago. Something about Winterhaven didn't like his jokes.
Mother. These petty little. Well, I hear they never really do.
I thought the dancing corpses was hilarious. But, you know, what can you do?
Mm. Alright. Well, let's set up camp in our room upstairs. Not upstairs. Up above.
Alrighty.
We'll
So-
leave the meat puppets alone.
Oh, also, try not to go down that hole that way. And he points there. That's where they're doing the excavation.
Did you point here? I didn't see where you pinged. Okay. Excavation and meat puppets over there. Okay. Not good.
Yep. If you hear an occasional explosion, it's probably from down there.
Noted. Don't mind the explosions unless they start getting closer. Okay.
I would make some of their explosive stuff if I had all the supplies. I am a genius at these sorts of things.
I'm sure you are, Splug. I'm not even going to insight check that. Alright, everybody, let's go. See what we can do to make the room defensible before we turn in. I can't imagine it's very early in the day at the moment.
Nope, it is about 5 p.m. or so at the earliest.
Yeah, we have a few hours of daylight before we can do anything. We have benches we could try and set up, pile them on top of one another. We could attempt to move the Iron Maiden in front. Those bars over there are presumably bolted to the floor and ceiling.
We could move the
There's the rack too, yes.
rack as well.
Any one of those would make for decent. Don't hold up anything too strong, but we just need them to hold them there while everybody wakes up and grabs their weapons.
Mm-hmm.
you see Splug playing with the Iron Maiden, and then he rushes off back down the cell block.
Before we close the door, do we want to move the body?
Oh, don't worry about the body. I got it.
Speaking of bodies, if we want to remain literally, well, actually, thinking about it, that's a bit too much to clean up. I sort of left a whole lot of the blood sort of everywhere.
Yeah. Oh, I can clean that up. Leave it to me. Splug cries out as he looks to be like mid stripping the dead torturer of all of his stuff.
Can't really blame him. That armor is actually really cool.
Yes, it seems to be some sort of hide. And Splug is very grabby with it as he's trying to yank it off as it seems kind of stuck on the hobgoblin.
If it weren't for the fact that I had 0 dexterity, I would consider grabbing it for myself. So the whole disadvantage to stealth with the same as my heavy armor, but still. Now, I don't think by the base rules that there are any negatives to sleeping in heavy armor in 5th edition.
Yeah, by the base rules, it doesn't actually list some kind of penalty for sleeping in your armor. So you may do that.
Okay, I was just asking whether you were going to implement the Xanathar's Guide optionals there.
Nope.
Very happy you are not.
You're fine. I mean, you've gotten. I mean, if you're a tough guy. If you had to take off your armor every time you needed to sleep, you'd be. Yeah, you wouldn't think of yourself as much of a real warrior.
Agreed. Okay, good. So, wooden barricades. We seem to have lost Jake, or he's off distracted. Or he just hasn't felt like moving his token. So, wooden barricades, Iron Maiden, Slug.
Clean. And Splug is going to start mopping up all the blood. And he slowly makes his way around.
It's actually surprisingly useful of him. Do we want to try and reset the trap? Some sort of fire. I didn't see where it came from, I don't think. Burn the canvas covering it.
That was Andros' firebolt.
Yep, that was.
Well, out of character, I knew that, but I was too busy fighting to pay attention.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Andros, shame on you.
It was not my intention.
I did not believe it was. Still, shame on you. Okay. We should clear out the bodies. What Splug seems to be doing. Yeah, he's throwing them in the pit. He probably knows where replacement canvas is.
Good point.
Yep, he is busily mopping up all this, all the blood and the gore, and he's throwing all the bodies into the pit. And you hear him kind of say, "Supper time, rodents! Here you go!" And he throws them all in.
They are going to be very fat and happy rodents for a few days. Till stuff starts stinking.
Alright, so, what is the plan for your sleeping arrangements then? The exact, precise plan.
I was considering the 2 least injured, not including Splug. Because Splug won't do shit. We'll take first guard shift and then while Mitha does her meditation thing, and after the meditation, she takes over for the rest of the 4 hours. So two 2-hour shifts, and then one remaining 4-hour. I guess I don't know how much HP Gideon has, but I guess it would be a tie between either Gideon or Augusto and Gerhardt. All right, I'm at 3. So it depends on how petty you want to be about that, Jake. Is your perception better than 2? Because that's what I've got. You have 1? Alright, it'll be Gerhard and I. And then Mitha afterwards. Andros, you need your damn sleep. I'm not waking you up if freaking Genghis Khan is at the door. You're getting your sleep.
Thank you.
Those firebolts might come in handy, so I'll probably wake you up anyway. So just to make it simple, we'll probably just pile on those 2 benches just in front of it, just to be there. It's literally just meant to give us the couple of turns we'll need to get everybody up, ready, organized, and a short plan to fight off anything out there.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, as you set those tables and things up, Splug happily sits on them.
Good.
As you've after you set them up, and he's kind of kicking his feet back, swinging his feet back and forth pretty happily on these makeshift barricades.
Okay, good job, Splug. Very helpful.
Oh, anything for you guys.
All right, Gerhardt, do you want to go first, or should I?
I'll go first.
All right. Good night, everybody.
All right. The night begins, or at least your evening of rest. And about an hour in, there's a knock on the door. And Splug kind of sits up, and you start to hear him. He kind of cups his voice, or cups his mouth, and he presses against the door, and he starts screaming as if in agony. Oh, and you hear the knocks kind of fade away, and he kind of continues with this, and then you hear like this groan of impatience, and the guy just walks away, whoever it was. And then Gerhardt, you see Splug looks back to you, and he has a big smile on his face, and he's got his thumb up, and he's like, huh?
Very convincing.
It's almost as if he's been tortured before. Not that I'm awake for it, but, you know.
And your shift passes uneventfully for most of the rest of the evening. Who's next? Mitha?
Unless you counted me.
Oh yeah, you're next.
Yep.
Yes.
Then leave for the rest.
All right. So you get up and you kind of see Splug just sitting there, and he's actually holding that leather that that hide that he took off of the hobgoblin, and he's like kind of wrapping himself in it like a blanket. He looks like he really likes it.
I'm sure he does. Okay.
And the night,
For.
yeah, the night continues to go fairly uneventfully. Mitha, your shift approaches.
Keep it warm, yeah.
And it also goes uneventfully.
Nice.
You have the rest of the night to yourself. Especially thanks to Splug's little cries of agony. And you are all fully rested the next day.
So does that bring us to full HP?
Yep, you got full hit points. You get at least 1 hit die back if you've spent one.
That I did. That I did.
It smells too.
Yes, your spell slots are back. And here's not a bad place to call it for the night.
Not bad at all.
Alright, I'll give you some XP if you'll let me calculate that real quick.
Level 2.
106 would be great.
What does that grant me? Ooh, I would get spells and a fighting style. And divine smite.
Uh-oh. Thank you, Malwarebytes.
Two D8. Man, I'm gonna hit like a freaking truck. 2d6 plus 2d8 plus 3, but it's only if I sacrifice a spell slot. That's only if we get level.
You each gain 110 experience points.
What do you know? There's level 3.
Alrighty. Thanks everyone out there for watching.
Level 2.
I'll see you guys next time. And remember,
Goodbye.
chill touch that like button and subscribe to join the skeleton crew. Bye.
Good night, everyone.
Goodbye. Sorry I interrupted you. Goodbye.
Good night.
We didn't die.
Bye, everybody.
Yay.